Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Who Would Win. And it's the first. I had to redo this just because I couldn't do it in time for work. I meant to, but I apologize. But the point is, I'm here now, and it's the first week of the first month, or the next month. So it's December now. So, beginning of the month, we're doing Bleach, and this week The thing is, I left off on game to Squad 3. Now, I'm not doing a Squad 4 or 5 captains because Squad 4, Unohana / Isane, spoilers for anyone that didn't finish Bleach, we just never got enough information about her to really do a proper who would win. And with Squad 5, Shinji, we don't have all the information. We don't know what his Bankai does. And Aizen deserves a who would win away from this lineup. So we're skipping to Squad 6, which is Byakuka Kuchiki. Now, obviously it's Sensui who I put him up against. And I put him up against because Sensui's always, even in his minus Kazuya, or Kazuma, his violent form, minus that, he's always been like proper polite and all along those lines, and had a very a sense of refinedness to him. Similar to how Byakuya does. Obviously, they're slightly different in terms of how they present themselves overall, but still, that's one I decided would be the... that is why I thought they'd be a good matchup for each other. So, starting with Byakuya, just give me get to that page. There we go. Byakuya stands at 5'11", 141 pounds, whereas Sensui is over 6 feet tall and 100 and something pounds. Don't know exactly how tall he is. Byakuya comes off as serene and polite. He's very articulate. He's aristocratic. He's calm, intellectual, but bordering on arrogant. He's very much by the books, upholding the law and honor and all those things. He's also very apathetic. He doesn't show emotions very well. It's very hard to fluster him. He's very perceptive, though, knows his own limits, knows how to either work within those limits or if he has to surpass them in some way. He's a master swordsman. He's a Shumpo or a flash up speed master, to the point where he can use or create after images, multiple of them. He's decent with hand-to-hand combat, though that's not his specialty. He's a Keto master, using multiple binding spells, Hado spells, offensive, defensive. He's a perceptive fighter, and knows how to do... what did I write here? Oh my god. Knows how to use abilities, opponent's abilities or his abilities better to his end in the long game. Immense spiritual energy, given the fact that he is, a captain. Enhanced durabilities, handled major slashes, had his stomach and blood loss and just stomach eviscerated by Asnot. He can withstand a decent amount of concussive force, so he's got a lot of durability to him, but he's not invincible. He's been beaten before. His Zanpakuto Zenbon Zakura, basically on command of Scatter. It scatters into 1,000 blades that reflect the light in such a way that they look like lotus petals. They are powerful, they're strong, they can cut individuals to ribbons, they can be used as defense and offense. His Bankai is essentially a souped-up version of that, millions of blades instead of 1,000 blades. Let's go Zanpakuto Bankai, and then Zenbon Zakura Kagyoshi, which, sorry, I just given the dog some, which, the blades come out scatter. He can either use it just as the standard, wave of wave of cherry blossom blades, or he can compress them into Senkai, which forms 1,000 blades. All of them are compressed of those 1 million blades to form very powerful hardened swords for offensive purposes. It can also be used as a good shield. There's a secret technique where he fires all of them simultaneously. Goken is a ability that uses the wave of blades as they circle and then implode upon the opponent. And then his final ability, Shinkei Hakutuken or Hakufuken. I think it's Hakufuken or White Emperor, where he takes all the blades he has, compresses it into one super blade, one final blade with wings and everything, and goes in for a final charge. He's strong enough basically to alter the landscape is what he's capable of doing. So that's him. Now, with Shinobu Sensui, Sensui has multiple personalities. We're going to be looking only at Shinobu for this one, because that's how with Who Would Win, I always do the most realistic scenario. Now, in some cases, that might mean they know about each other. Other cases, it doesn't. But in the scenario I thought of, the most realistic scenario involves Shinobu and just Shinobu. So Shinobu he's refined, he's polite, he even has a sense of humor, but a sense of honor about him as well. He is an S class in terms of his energy level. His energy is not just spiritual; it's sacred energy, which is some form. There's demon energy in Yu Yu Hakusho. There's spiritual energy, and there's sacred energy. Sacred energy is somehow divine in some way, and he's S class, meaning he's of the highest echelon to many regards. So, in terms of comparing their power, they're probably on par in some way. S class would be on par with definitely the higher rank captains. His fighting style is known as the Rishuken, which involves learning all the martial arts in the world, basically, before that, or mastering them, and then involving leg work and all that. 1 second. He has fast footwork, blocks with his hands, and counters with attacks with his kicks. His body is extremely durable. Yusuke referred to it as punching a tractor tire. He has he's got a similar ability to Yusuke where he fires energy from his hand. I'm certain he could have used it as a kind of like a Rasengan effect, and I certainly can. However, I'm also certain that he generally uses it for kicking. He kicks it and then attacks. Splinter Ryuken is where it forms as multiple balls in the air, and they then combine, and he kicks it, and it's like multiple blasts. You can use his sacred energy for flight. You use it for enhanced effect. Use it for energy attacks themselves. Use it for durability. He can also compress his sacred energy into armors, one for defense, one for offense. The defensive armor raises his offense, but also raises his defense. As he referred to himself, he was like a living, breathing, sentient tank. And he was able to tank every one of the hits that he took, minus the graze he took from Yusuke's enhanced spirit gun at that point. He's capable of using a technique in that form called Twisted Twister, which is like an energy twister of some kind. He was able to completely wrap up his opponent, an A-class demon. His defensive armor is blue and white and black. His offense, it pretty much just raises his offense. We don't know really I assume it enhances his speed as well, but also raises his physical abilities. He can also produce energy blasts, other energy blasts, and what was the other one he could do? And sacred energy blasts and sacred energy beams. So, when going down a scenario, how does the scenario break down? Well, the scenario, I believe, would probably break down as such. Where is it? There it is. So, when Hiei basically blasts him with the Dragon of the Darkness flame, he goes through the Kakai barrier. But I'm painting a scenario a little different, where he doesn't end up in Demon World. He actually ends up in Spirit World instead, in the Soul Society. And he probably gaze upon this. Now again, I'm not a dialogue writer unless I'm focusing on it. Probably looks upon this as like, huh. And it's like, so this is the Demon World. This doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right. There's society, cities. It's like, what? This is the Demon World really? Like he's saying out loud. All of a sudden, Byakuya appears behind and is like, Demon, you're not in the Demon World. You're in the Soul Society. It's like, Sensui turns around, obviously probably sensed Byakuya, but not paying him any mind because he just thinks he's a shit, probably. He's like, who are you? What are you doing here? And then, an interaction comes between them, or an interaction takes place, and, he's asking, I leave now, before it's like, oh, I don't know. This is quite a beautiful place, blah, blah, blah. And then Byakuya would Sensui would probably flare his energy. Byakuya would probably send a Hellbar and say, no, I'll handle it. And then the fight commences where Byakuya comes in, sword drawn, goes in slice, just can't go through at least not in just from an initial slash, can't get through the energy. A couple more strikes, can't get through the energy. Gets blown back by Sensui's energy. And then Sentry comes in, tries maybe, throws a Shuriken, boom, throws a Shuriken, blast, boom. Then Byakuya's like, nope, scatters, and Bunzakura. And then, Zenbon Sakura comes out and is like, please. And then he just charges through Zenbon Sakura. They can't get through him. It's like, Byakuya's like, oh, crap. Well, in his mind, he's just like, his eyes wide, and then Poor gets a mega kick to the gut, just Poor, and then just gets thrown back into a wall or rock face, wherever it happens to be in Soul Society. Says boom, and then there's Russia Splinter Armor, show you again. Then boom, 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 and then And then he appears before Byakuya. Byakuya's now, he's definitely hit. He's hurt. He's like, ugh. And he's like, ugh. He's just standing there like this. His handle's still in his hand. But, and then it's like, no, Sensui starts the monologue. Like, you really should have known your opponent before you attacked. Yeah. And from the way I can tell, you seem to be of high authority. A captain of some kind, or something like that. And he just starts monologuing a bit. And all of a sudden, he's just like, pointing. No, it's a, didn't your mother ever say it's rude to point? Or, that's Sensei, but didn't your mother ever tell you it's rude to point? And he's about to maybe try to break his fingers off. It's like, Hado number 4, Byakura. Then the man gets his, he tries to dodge, but he still gets the lightning through his hands. All of a sudden, Byakuya's hand just goes from point to, and then all of a sudden Zenbo and Zakura comes back and it's like, whoa, and then Sensui's got to get out of the way, but Byakuya has flashed this, and then which one was it? Not Hado. Bakudo number 63. Bakudo number 61. Riku Jaiko. Or Jako. Riku Jako. And then those 6 pillars of light come in. Boom, he's now stuck in midair. He realizes, I can't move. It's like, no, you can't. It's like, and just so you know, I feel it's something. He would say something. My name is Byakuka Kuchiki, head of the Kuchiki clan and captain of Squad 7. Hado 63, Raiko, and then the giant electric blast comes down onto Sensui. Sensui's he realizes, crap, I gotta do something. So he summons his energy armor, comes on there, forms onto his body. So the energy armor comes in. I think he'd be a little singed, but I don't think he'd be any different than like when the dragon hit him. So really, it's so he comes in singed, but Byakuya, having sensed the influx in his Ryatsu, spiritual energy, or the energy he has, sacred energy, would probably be along the lines of, he fall back. So comes in, Shinobu, and then monologues again. It's like, luckily I had this, or something along those lines. It's like, and now that I've compressed my energy into an armor. Now, not only has it increased my offense, but increased my defense as well. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, you can't hurt me. I'm a living, breathing, sentient tank. And all of a sudden he's like, And then all of a sudden he sees a sword drop. Bankai, Zenbun Zakara Kagyoshi. So then the blades come, millions of blades. It's like, even Shinobu's like, that's quite the beautiful display. And then, the blades come whoosh. But, he's twisted, blasts some of the way, but there's too many. He's about to, engulf him with Goken, but then Twister, get blown away. All of a sudden he comes in again. Byakuya, however, dodges with little effort. Flash steps. It's like, see, I can't beat you with my standard arsenal. So then compressed Senkai comes along. It's like, I only revealed this this is only the 3rd or something. I don't remember whatever time it was when he revealed it at that point. I only reveal this for those who I plan to kill with my bare hands. All of a sudden a blade comes like, yes, but if you think you can trap me in here, you're wrong. And then blasts him. The blades, however, do not break, and he's a little surprised by it. So, this is like, so be it. And all of a sudden he's got his energy going, just flaring his energy. And at this point in the fight, I imagine the music when Yusuke went into his ancestral form and just beat the living tar out of Sensui. That's the music I imagine going here. They're now trading blows. Sensui's got a hand speed, but I don't think he could keep up with Byakuya for the very reason that even with the armor on, he couldn't keep up with he overpowered Hiei, no problem, but Hiei actually moved fast enough to catch Sensui off guard. If he actually had the strength to hurt Sensui, he landed a direct hit on him. So I actually don't think, and even he admits that Yusuke physically is stronger than him. He's just physically in better shape than Sensui. Sensui, as he put it, ranked on a scale of 1 to 10. So Yusuke's a 10, he's a 6. So when it comes to opponents like speed and ability to really dodge him, I don't think he can do much. So, but now I just imagine that music going back, Byakuya using his flash up, just coming in, going against it. Maybe creating scrapes against the armor, but not really hurting Sensui. Sensui is now getting really annoyed by this, I imagine. Tries to maybe do a twisted twister, but doesn't do anything. All of a sudden, the blades are starting to come in on it. It's like, damn it, what the hell? So what is this? So now it's just, at some point, maybe he's going to score a lucky hit, but it's going to be more like a graze. But still, Byakuka's, I can't let this man. I can't. Sensui will also switch to the offensive armor, I believe. So he hits and barely gets a graze, but it still nearly breaks his jaw. He's reeling a bit, but he's still fine. So it comes down to basically the final. He uses his final technique as we seem to be fairly matched. So now I use my final technique. Zenbun Zakura. What was it again? Sorry, hold on. Shinte Haku, White Emperor. So now here's the thing. For a final attack, I think Sensui would probably channel all of his energy into his fists, being on the offensive armor, plus having his energy attack. I think he'd even maybe form an energy ball in his hand, and then it's like, ready when you are. It's just, and then they charge and just boom, you get the explosion, and then you get that moment of who we're gonna find out wins. Now, when you break that down, it's going to be a matter of damage how much damage they can take to how much they can dish out, and when it's all said and done, I think it's going to be something along the lines. You're going to hear Shinobu Sensui. You're going to see blood spurt from both of them, just, but then you're going to hear Shinobu say, "It's like thank you." It's like, why should you be thanking me? Because that fight's really all I've ever wanted. A fight like that's all I really wanted. And then you're going to see his arm suddenly fall to the ground, and he's now just a serene smile on his face as he just falls down, dying. And, dead. Because when you break it down, S-class demons, from what we can tell, definitely are in the definitely higher rank. I mean, if B-class demon like Bui is like somewhere in the average captain rank, an A to S-class demon would be roughly in a upper captain rank. Hold on, puppy. I'll let you on in just a second. I'm almost done. An upper captain rank. So, and Byakuka is definitely an above average captain rank. Jesus, Dominic. All right. Hold on, sorry, folks. Alright, 1 second. Yeah, Byakuka is definitely above average, and with the amount of power Byakuka is capable of dishing out, and the amount of how easy it was for an actual S-class demon to beat the living tar as Sensui, who was also S-class, I would have to say that, and given how much damage Byakuka was actually able to survive, I would have to say that Byakuka would probably survive the bout, whereas Sensui would not. But it honestly is a lot closer of a match than I thought it would be. So I'd probably give this about a 60-40 in favor of Byakuka. That's what I would say. But yeah, let me know if you think different, and if so, why. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it. Sorry, it's late. Do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would wins, though, what if videos, put those in the comments below. I do get to them. Ideas for the next Bleach who would win, which will be Komamoro. I already got one lined up for that, but if you can give me one better, I'll do it, certainly. But yeah, Captain Komamoro will be the captain we do for next month's who would win Bleach fight. Other than that, though, thanks for watching. I will have a Star Wars video up sometime tomorrow, but I don't know when. And I have a review for Office Christmas Party sometime tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good night, everyone.